Beautiful.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode on the podcast. Got my boy Squints, myself Brian Gold, and our new friend Sid here.
Hello there.
I'll let you lead it off, sir.
Well, I was scrolling through Instagram like I do, looking for inspiration on the days that I do that, or funny shit, or whatever it is.
Or you also send me some painful shit.
Yeah, I like those videos as well. But I came across Sid's page. He does like, kind of life hackish type of stuff, things that, are uncommon or, we should probably know all this stuff or the way products are meant to be used and stuff, but we just don't. And he brings these to the forefront with his content, and I hit him up and thought he'd be cool to have on the show because, I fucked with the movement. and I like learning cool stuff about
Instagram taught me something really interesting, like the seat protectors, how you figure the flap's supposed to be on the back, but the water flows from the front.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Exactly. Yeah, that was actually one that I posted about too, and I was like, oh, that makes more sense. Okay. Yeah.
That
We're always
really
stuck where we
Yeah. We're just like,
cool.
and you're just sitting there and you're just sort of like, oh, I guess that does actually make more sense because it's super gross at the front. Right. Okay. Never mind.
Oh, the thing's supposed to go.
Yeah. So the way that I thought about it was flap in front to protect your flap in front.
Yeah.
So it's just that kind of like if you got to protect anything, that little piece of paper protects it as well.
Gotcha.
So there you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I know. It's just little things like that.
I've not been doing it like that
Never,
forever.
ever.
I usually rip that thing out completely.
I know, me too, actually. And then when I found out about it, I was like, oh, I gotta go back.
That's
I gotta rethink my life.
Yeah,
Gotta start all over again.
Yeah.
We've been exposed to some unnecessary dirty water.
Just gross things. Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, bro.
Coming on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you messaged me on Instagram, I was like, nah. Childhood hero Squints? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I'm just like, no, I can't. And then I saw it, I was like, oh, no, this is legit. Okay, cool. So thank you. This is great, man. This is really
Thanks
exciting.
for coming, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glad that you made the trip. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so like you said, my name's Sid. Hey, everybody. Hey. I started making content on TikTok back in 2019. And then in 2020, just sort of kept going. And then in 2021, I posted my first Here's Something I Wish I Knew Before I Was in My 30s. Mm-hmm. And it was like super basic stuff. And I just wanted to make these videos because I felt like I was the only one that didn't know these things. But then I was like, you know what? I bet the internet is full of people that doesn't know things. So I started posting those and every day. And all of a sudden, a year and a half later, it
Following growth
blows up. And now I have, close to 4 mil on TikTok and close to 1 million on Instagram now, which is cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and growing every day on other platforms, and it's just like it's always been a dream of mine to be a content creator and Instagram and YouTuber and all of that stuff ever since the good old days of 07 YouTube. Mm-hmm. So now to finally have this base and have it work is just an incredible dream come true.
It's dope. It's a lot of work.
It is, truly is. Yeah. And I mean, I think the consistency, everyone always talks about how consistency is key, but the problem is that people never talk about how you have to find something that you can keep doing that is consistent. Uh-huh. So with TikTok and Instagram and short form and stuff like that, it was like, oh, what's the easiest thing to do? And TikTok is it literally lets you become the meme, is what I always say.
That's
cool. It gave you the sound, it gave you the trend, it gave you everything. So that's when I picked up, one sound, and I just did that every single day. And I kind of learned to find my voice. I tested out my own comedy style. I tested all this stuff out. I was doing sketch comedy and stand-up here in Los Angeles for a while. And then finally I was like, oh, I need to do this type of video with this type of information. And then here you go, every single day.
So what was one of your videos that went most viral?
So the first one that really hit was you don't have to drink all of the booze. You don't have to. You can wait till tomorrow to drink more of the booze, right? And that was for me, being a fan of this rum and whiskeys and stuff, and Pabst, obviously. It was like, oh, I can wait till tomorrow to drink some more, right?
Yeah.
And that, especially with millennials, was like, oh, shut the fuck up. I don't know if I can I curse here.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. It was able to just shut the fuck up. No, you need to drink all of it, or you're you're a failure. But so that really hit, and then after that, it was sort of like, oh, okay, I have my opening line, I have all that. And then I did Travel Pillows Go in Front. And when I did Travel Pillows Go in Front, that's the one that hit Apple News. That's the one that hit, like, you know, the Daily Beast
What do
and
you
BuzzFeed.
mean?
So, you know, Travel
Yeah,
Pillows,
the
right?
one that-
Yeah. So if
They
you
go
turn
frontwards.
they go in
Get
the
the
front.
fuck out
Yeah,
of here.
dude. So if you
Really?
turn it around,
It actually works
it's so much more comfortable
because you're just leaning on
because
it.
you're leaning on it. Because if you think about
Because when I pass out on the
I
plane,
never
I'm
quite
like this.
figured them out.
Exactly. I'm
and
telling
then I
you.
wake up and I'm like, fuck.
I'm
Because your
telling you.
back's against the thing,
Exactly.
and then it just holds your head up.
Exactly.
For you.
Your back
Oh my
is being
God.
held up like this. So you're not and if the pillow's too thick,
You're
it
like
just
on
constantly falls forward. It was
Fuck, another light bulb, bro.
Dude, it
I'm
was
telling you.
4:00 in the morning. I got a message on TikTok, and this guy just goes, "Hey, Travel Pillows Go in Front." My wife and I were just so tired. We're traveling back east, red eye, you know, middle of the night or whatever. And I went, "Honey, Travel Pillows Go in Front." And we both looked at each other like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And then we tried it, and it was the best flight I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Truly. And I was so well rested. I was.
This just changed
passed
my life.
out. It was incredible.
Bro,
Because I don't sleep well on planes at all.
I know, man. I'm telling you.
And I tried the travel pillow, but I'm like, this is
They're
trash.
terrible. They're
terrible.
trash.
Yeah.
So
it's like one more thing I need to carry that
exactly.
doesn't work.
And it's almost like it's built by the manufacturers, so you hate them.
Yeah.
So you have to keep trying and buying different ones.
Interesting.
But don't all the pictures
that's-
on them show?
I know, man. I know, and the
But they
tag
go
is
in
in
the
the
front.
The tag is in the front. The like everything. I'm telling you, and like once you turn it around and you really try, like if you ever have a really long flight again, and you're just like, God, I really want to sleep. Try Travel Pillows Go in Front, and
I'm
that
gonna
one.
do it. I got a flight. Well, that one's short, but me and my wife are gonna go to Europe,
Perfect.
and
Yeah.
I'll do it then for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and a buddy of mine, he's a little bit taller, so I don't think it worked for him, but he's also like a more slender dude. But like he tried it, and he just kind of like rags on stuff anyway.
Oh, okay.
So
he's just a hater.
yeah, I think he's just a hater kind of.
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend it.
gonna try it for
My
sure.
wife and I could never go back.
It makes total sense.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Because I never really got the point of them. Because I'm like, I mean, I could just put my fucking hand up. It does the same thing.
But also, if you think about it, like you have all the support you need
yeah, in the back.
already.
You need something
Yeah.
to keep
Yeah,
you there.
and the seats don't go back that far.
No, they
so,
don't.
So
No,
if
even
you're
in
just,
first class, it doesn't. dip
exactly,
that far.
exactly.
So you need something to hold your neck up straight, which is
yeah.
exactly what that pillow does.
And then you
if it
just
goes
fall,
on the
and then
front.
and you tend to like fall forward anyway when you're like dozing off
Yeah.
or whatever.
Oh, every time.
So just try it.
It works.
There you go.
Dope.
Like I always fly American, and
Well-
they have those like wings that you can
Yep.
pull out.
Yep, yep,
Helps
yep.
a little bit.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, I like the wings too.
The wings are
do
good.
help.
The wings are good.
Yeah.
Yeah. First class though is a little bit. I know, right? First class, definitely like you have a little bit more room, but still like you just kind of
Yeah.
constantly fall forward.
First class is one luxury that I try to afford myself if possible.
So do I.
If there's an upgrade, even if somebody else bought a flight, then I try to upgrade.
Yeah.
As long as it's reasonable.
It makes it. It makes
I
it.
have limitations on like the
Yeah.
amount I'm willing to spend on a 5-hour flight where I'm like,
If you're going to Europe, different story.
yeah, I mean, I would like to. It just gets outrageous.
It does.
Even if I can
sometimes.
afford it, I still don't. Like, I have like a limit.
Unless you're like a Delta Sky Clubs member or something.
I should be. I
Yeah.
just don't ever like, I'm the guy that just says, no, don't run it, but I miss out on all the
I
points.
add it, but I'm not loyal to any one airline.
Did you see Dave Portnoy had
Yeah.
his 44 million Amex
What?
points?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
So he went to like
Jesus.
Walgreens or
and that's
something.
on his black card, which really
Yeah.
equates to 88 million.
Yeah, he was putting his thing in, and I guess he'd never seen how many points he had, but it showed up on the screen. So he went back and bought some gum and showed that he had 44 million points on his Amex.
I actually didn't think that was a real card until you just said it's a real card.
Oh yeah, he's
An
got
Amex
one.
Black.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that like is. That's insane to me.
It's
I thought
just
I thought that was a myth.
No, it's just you can. It's like a subscription service.
Sure,
you have
sure,
to pay
sure.
a fee to have it, and then you have other benefits
But
that
you have
come
to
with
get,
it.
but you have to get invited in.
Oh, got it.
You have to
okay.
spend X amount, whatever they're
on
algorithm.
Amex.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
It's
wild.
metal. It sounds like a clanky like metal piece when it hits the table.
Yeah. I have.
It's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah, exactly. I have like a metal credit card,
Mm-hmm.
and when I got it, I was like, oh, I'm I'm an adult. Like I need, I don't need as much supervision as I used to.
If we go to we go to a coffee shop not too far from here sometimes to eat, and this fool, I won't let him pay with this black card because I'd be like, stop, bro, you can't black card the diner.
It's heavy too, right? Is it heavy?
Yeah.
Damn.
I just tell him you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that here at this place.
He's like, but then I go by myself and I do it anyways.
I would be
That's
so
too much of a
intimidated.
flex. It's too
I
much of a
worked
flex.
so long as like a server and like behind the bar and stuff, and
Most of the time people don't even know what it is.
really
Because nowadays,
it's just black.
well, because nowadays there's these aftermarket credit cards that
Right.
you send them your credit card, they'll like put it on metal, put like
Oh yeah, right.
your whatever logo you want on there, and then they send it back to you, and it's a metal card. So they're like, maybe you ordered whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that card, they don't ID you.
Wow.
They just run
I'm
it.
brown,
I remember Dietrich, my buddy, he worked for a musician, and the musician had a black card, and he sent him somewhere with it. And Dietrich gave the lady the black card. She said, you wouldn't even have this. And she just ran his card and gave it back to him, type of deal. So it does. It's pretty prestigious in the
If they
sales
know.
market, if they know,
Of course, yeah. This is incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah, like you walk in any of the Highline stores, they know.
Sure. That's dope.
They got a whale.
They got a whale.
Yeah.
Oh no! Watch out, everybody! Watch out!
Big spender.
Big spenders. Crypto market's imploding.
No limit on the card.
Crypto market imploding soon. Oh man, that's funny. Wow.
So tell us a little bit about your creation process, or whatever how do people? I'm sure people are just sending you things at this point to to do.
Honestly, like at the beginning, it was more focused on specifically things that my older sister and I would like text each other, right? So for example, we would text each other something like, hey, did you know that the FedEx logo has that arrow in it, or the Amazon logo has A to Z, right? Like that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, do you know how to use a can opener correctly? And we was like, what do you mean?
That one's dope.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't know that.
That one's crazy, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Don't you just clip it on there?
No, bro, you put it on the fucking side. It opens the can without the sharp edges. It literally takes the top off of the fucking can.
Yeah. So
Cleanly.
And then I don't have to try and
No,
fucking
bro,
flick
Exactly.
this
none of that
stupid
shit.
thing out.
Dude, I know, man.
When
I
you
know.
see it, you're like, oh, I'm an idiot. All this
Dude,
time.
I know. So the crazy thing is,
my
right?
mind's kind of blown right
Yeah.
So you put the can opener on the top and you spin it around, right? When you first open up a can like that, it just is like the thing about my videos is that it's offensive on so many levels, because you're like, what did I learn, and why do I know it this other way, right? And then when you finally do it correctly, you're looking at it and you're like, so that's not the fuck did I just do for the past 30 plus years,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Today's years old.
Exactly. Today's years old. Exactly. Right. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of my creative process, was just like, hey, what is the thing that only my sister and I didn't know? Or what is the thing that I was made fun of for not knowing before recently?
Yeah.
Right.
What was like one of the most like, holy shit?
I mean, honestly, travel pillows going front fucked me up for a long time. It still fucks me up. And the can opener one was a good one. It just like is those little things like, or like there was one where like you can shake the popcorn kernels out of the bag that's uncooked. So if you just like open it and it's like, oh, there's like that little opening in the top of the bag. If you just shake out the bag, all the popcorn kernels fall out. And then you don't need to deal with the fucking popcorn kernels. It's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, going back to
So
the
many
creative.
things that we think of as design flaws, but
Exactly.
they're really just people flaws.
That's actually exactly true, right? So as I got deeper and deeper into these things, I was like, wait a second. So these motherfuckers,
They thought of everything.
they
already.
thought about this already. God damn it. Like, like
Here we are thinking that everything needs to be fixed.
I know. And then sometimes
And
you're
now
like,
it's us.
Yeah,
we
like-
need to be fixed because
Yeah.
we're creatures of habit and we do the
exactly.
same stupid stuff
Well,
over and over
that's
again.
exactly it, Chauncey. It's like we're so addicted to the habits that we've had for so long, and we never
Yeah.
question them. So the minute that you do something different, you're just like, that actually does make sense. That
Yeah.
makes more sense. Or like the chocolate there's like the chocolate that you get for Valentine's Day, right?
Mhm.
They have like these little parts in between the chocolate that you can like push down and you like get the chocolate out easier. But then, so I go in 7-Eleven or, you know, wherever, and I buy a box of these chocolates, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to do this life hack. But then I open it up and they fix the issue. And I was like, oh, so they listen to the consumer. Whoa, that's crazy. So I couldn't even do the life hack. It's like, damn it. But they designed it a very certain way, right?
Yeah.
So basically what I do is I just like go through, and I started doing that, and I know that, you know, the easiest way to create content is when it's the easiest, especially for something like TikTok and Instagram. So I do the same opening line every single time. I found that. I set it wherever I can, you know, in my kitchen right now. Before it was also in my kitchen, now it's also in my back, in like my little office area. But always super simple, just like on a windowsill or something. And then I have the idea already of like what I'm gonna say. I probably had to go to like Target or something to like buy the random thing. So like sometimes I'll come home from Target and I'm like, hey, I bought this can of tape or whatever, and sorry honey, you know, like I just have these weird like thumbtacks everywhere or whatever. And then I do the life hack and tips and tricks, and try to film it for the first time for sure is like when I try it, right? But then after that, it's like, okay, like did that edit work? Like, you know, all this stuff, like does, you know, do I have to up the exposure or whatever? And then I just post it. The caption probably takes me the longest just because like part of the video is the caption, right? So like it's different on Instagram, it's different on TikTok, like the hashtags are a little bit different, and you know, and then I just click upload and see if it works, respond to comments.
It's dope.
Yeah.
Has anybody, this just came to mind when you said they fixed it, but have any companies reached out to you to work with their products to things that are
so
maybe
like
to fix
to
something
fix their
that they've
product?
already done, or not maybe fix their product, but maybe it's already built in, and the general public just doesn't know about it?
Well, actually, Cascade, I worked with Cascade, right? And they...
What's Cascade?
The dishwasher.
Soap, the dishwasher soap, yeah. So they have the, you know, their new dishwashers are actually like made...
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah,
They're
made to be better, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that because I haven't had a dishwasher since I left my mom's house. I
have a dishwasher I don't use. Most people don't use them. We clean the dishes and we put them in them to sterilize them, but they can actually wash dishes.
Well, then nowadays on the newer dishwashers, they have a sterilize feature. They have like a sensor so you can like get the optimized cleaning. It takes a longer time because it's more energy efficient. It doesn't waste as much water. So they reached out to me and they were like, hey, like we need you to tell people that like we made dishwashers better. And like we're working with dishwashing companies to make it better, and the soap is more efficient and all that stuff. So, so sometimes there's, or like Thomas's bread company, they reached out to me because there's a few different ways to open an English muffin, but one of the ways is with a fork, so that you can like get inside the nooks and crannies and like just pop it open. It's already pre-ready for you. So then they reached out to me and they were like, hey, you should tell people more about these English muffins or this bread that we have or something like that. So yeah, I mean, sometimes, and I think that was part of my creative process too. Like one of the first times I walked out of my kitchen and I had like done the videos a few times, I looked at my wife and I was just like, honey, I think I just created the greatest brand integration platform ever.
Yeah.
The easiest brand into like, all you have to do, like core water, right? It's like, here's something I didn't know about core water, right? Or whatever. And it's like, yeah, sure, this is great. And that's, there's
and they
a video.
have to play, because it's great cross promotion and you know, like I have all of this art and things and I always repost, and most of my posts are reposts from other people, right?
Sure, yeah.
So it's the easiest media is just other people creating content for you, you know? And so like you said, brand integration is like, it's an endless thing. As you were talking about it, I was like, oh, that's genius, right?
Well, and that's,
I came to the same realization.
Yeah, and I came up in digital media on the professional side for like 10 years. You know, that's how long I've been in Los Angeles, about 10 years now.
Did you come out here for like digital media? You said I got to go to LA to the motherland and figure it out, right?
Yeah, I came here like every other dumbass, just trying to find a dream.
Yeah.
And just like all of a sudden, it's like, oh look, it actually worked. 9 years, 3.25 years later.
You got to put some work in.
Yeah.
But it can't
And
work.
LA does not give a shit that you are here.
No.
No. LA, like when you first get here, you're like, oh, cool, like city of dreams, like, oh, Los Angeles, amazing, right? And you're like,
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. The first time I really felt that was when I asked for directions. I think I was like in the valley somewhere. I think I was like in North Hollywood. And I asked for directions, and they just looked at me like I was a fucking moron. And then years later, I constantly look back on that moment, and I'm like, oh, you were also lost. You don't have any idea where you are in LA right now. And I shouldn't, this is not a regular town. Okay, cool. Got it. But yeah, so I came out here to be a YouTuber, and
Was it a little bit of culture shock coming from Virginia?
you know what's
Totally
funny?
different.
I talk about that all the time, about how much of a culture shock it is.
Because Virginia's,
Exactly.
country folks.
Well, and
good-
it's just,
good,
good,
different vibes.
yeah, different people,
People
Richmond.
are friendly.
Yeah. Well,
Like
people
naturally,
are,
they
people,
can be assholes, but they're like,
But people say
Yeah.
hi.
people say hi.
Yeah.
They can talk. You can talk to
The
people.
difference is that when it's a smaller congestion of people,
Yeah.
right? Like I could ride my bike from one side of town to the other in like 30 minutes,
Mhm.
right? Or whatever. And here, you take 30 minutes to do anything, you're in a different part of the city. I mean, that's a whole different area that you have to
Yeah.
get used to. So I talk about the culture shock a lot because it is a real huge change.
Yeah.
And you get here, and I was actually living in Simi Valley,
Mm-hmm.
and my brother told me that was Los Angeles. It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
No.
That's where they shot the Power Rangers, but it's not
It's
Los
not
Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Simi's the valley's the cutoff.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
most
even
people in
the
LA
valley though.
In LA, people don't like if you're from 213 or 310.
Yeah.
You don't consider the valley LA.
Yeah, exactly. 323,
All
all
the
that.
818 guys, we consider the valley LA, but it's not really technically.
Right. But like, so it was a huge culture shock. I mean, I had never had a quesadilla really before I got here. That was crazy. I didn't know horchata was a thing.
Yeah.
And that's not even part of the culture shock. It's just also like the bus system is completely different.
Yeah. It's dangerous.
Yeah, and like walking
Were you-
across
were
the
you-
street is different.
Yeah. Were you were without a car when you came here?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. So I was borrowing my sister-in-law's car at the time.
Uh-huh.
Was there Uber then?
No.
No.
This was
No.
like the first time I ever had an Uber was like 2 years after I got here or something. And it was like the craziest
was still
thing.
like black cars
And
then,
Lyft,
probably.
yeah, Uber was black cars. Lyft came
Existed,
around
but-
to hop in on the Uber market that
Yeah.
wasn't tailoring to us normies.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, I can use Lyft to like just get around? Like that's crazy. But being in fucking Simi Valley,
No, nobody's coming to.
no one's
get
going
you.
to get
No
them
one's
in
coming
Simi
to get
Valley.
you.
And then I moved to Santa Monica. And when I moved to Santa Monica, I was like, it's a little bit more my vibe. But it was still like, I'm not really like a beach person, like, that kind of thing. And that was still a culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first time I took the train to East
Santa
Hollywood.
Monica's a lot rougher than people think.
Well, yeah. I mean,
And
especially
now.
in like Venice and like the
Just
like
Santa Monica's always been like Four Corners, Culver City, Santa Monica. It's a pretty active neighborhood. People
Yeah.
think of it as like the West Side and it's like all uppity. It's
No,
not.
man.
No.
No. But like if you go down to Lincoln, if you go down
Yeah.
to anywhere around there, like that's like that real Santa Monica, that real
Yeah.
Venice, right?
Uh-huh.
And but anyway, so then I moved there, and I was still just like failing. But I always knew in my heart that like I'm still a YouTuber. Like I don't know why. I've always been like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make videos and put them online and make my living from that. And then finally, after years and years and years of like trying to be an Instagram influencer, trying to be a Vine star, trying to do
Yeah.
all this stuff, TikTok came around and it was like, hey, remember what YouTube used to be like in 2009? Do that again, but short form. I was
Mhm.
like, oh, I can do this. So then I just did it, and here we are.
What kind of YouTube stuff were you doing early?
So back in Richmond, Virginia, I was making videos where basically I would go around on my college campus, Virginia Commonwealth, and I would basically pretend to be different things. So what I would do is I would like go out in public and I would pretend to be a cat, or I would pretend to be a jellyfish, or like, a disco dancer, or Cupid, or a statue, or whatever. And I would just be like on campus doing it, right? And I gained some like, that area, we call it Richmond famous, like
Yeah.
a little bit of Richmond fame. And I was like, oh shit, like I'm doing it. And then I was like, okay, like everyone's here, everyone's moving to Los Angeles, all the YouTubers are moving here. And so I was like, I guess I got to go to LA. And it was either New York or Los Angeles. And I saw that like more of the people that were like getting into movies or, you know, being part of what we called MCNs, major channel networks, like, or multi-channel networks, they were all here, and like everything was here. So I was like, I guess I gotta go to Los Angeles, and here I am. And that was it. I mean, YouTube was like, it still is like my white whale, you know, like my first love, the one that I can never let get away. But it'll happen.
Is it harder to find? Do you find now, especially at this time period, that it's hard to gain a following on YouTube at this point?
It's different for sure. It's
I mean,
definitely
my kids are on it nonstop, obviously, but that's like child-driven content.
Yeah. How old are your kids?
4 and 6.
Yeah, so they're probably watching like Blippi and like. All this
my
stuff.
son went through his Blippi phase. He's out of it now. Now he's on like Rainbow Friends and that type of darker stuff.
There's
There's
whole,
like all the Russian kids that play with toys.
Oh,
and like
yeah,
all
yeah,
this
of course,
weird
of course.
like play type stuff too.
Yeah, it's one single shot playing with toys. Like that's it.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, I think that it's more possible to find an audience now. The difference is that you have to like, you kind of have to obviously find everyone has their own audience, right? So like your audience is different than my audience, and every single platform is a different new audience, organic audience.
Yeah, like
So
my
different
TikTok's
vibes.
different than my Instagram,
Exactly.
and they're both different than my Instagram.
Yeah, like
Different people are watching those different apps. I don't have TikTok on my phone.
Yeah, well,
There you go.
There you go.
My wife loves TikTok. She's on it all the time.
Sure.
You know what I
so
mean?
exactly, right?
And she'll send me videos, and I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just never download it or
no, you
scroll.
just click the link or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit harder in the sense where like there's so many more people trying to like get that audience, but also at the same time the audience is so much bigger than it used to be, right? So like if the idea before was like you have one huge audience that's constantly on YouTube, well now you have the whole world really. Like now YouTube is the second most visited website in the world, just behind Google. Well, actually the third most, because TikTok was actually number 1 last year. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like, you know, so you're constantly fighting for the algorithm to find you. I think that's the biggest problem, is like if you really want to be a creator, you're constantly trying to figure out like where is the algorithm and how you get there.
Yeah, because it's all over the place. I mean,
Exactly.
obviously, a lot of my content is like cannabis-based at this point, but it like completely throttles everything of mine on Instagram. You know?
Exactly.
I'm like impossible to I'm not going to pop up just regularly. You know?
Exactly. So talking about the algorithm stuff.
Yeah, the algorithm. Trying to be found.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just, you know, it's just like going back to finding your audience is like, you know, you have to sort of like consistently post in order for each platform to know who to serve your content to. And that's tough, especially with weed. Like, you know, with cannabis content, it's like technically you're not supposed to.
I think TikTok would probably snuff you.
Yeah, they won't let you. For sure.
Yeah, no.
They'll flag you right away.
Well, that's the other thing about my videos, right? Like I knew after working inside the industry for so long that I'm going to be the most family-friendly, no cursing, non-controversial person there is.
Because the algorithm is fit to feed that.
Yeah. So I just kind of like played into the algorithm, and it was just like, you know, even cursing a little bit, like I bleep everything out, or you know, like, and so like and I think also like leaving the room for the audience to curse at the screen rather than like me saying like, oh, like, are you fucking kidding me? You know, and just like me being angry or whatever.
No, 'cause that's
it's
what
like,
we say.
Exactly.
Hey, fucking kidding me? I can't believe
you
it.
Share it and all this stuff.
Exactly.
So
that's what built it. It's a very genius thing. But the cool part is like what you're talking about is, you know, people are always asking like, how do you build a following? How do you do this? And like you said, you have to find something that fits with you. And that obviously came organic. Like you're, you know, all this time you're trying to create this content. And something organic from you and your sister's conversations is what wins. I always try to tell people to be themselves and to be true to themselves and who they are, because we all have something to offer.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you got to try to think about what are 3 aspects of yourself that you're willing to share with the public, right? That takes a long time to figure out. At least for me, it took a long time to figure out. Yeah, it's a lot. So for me, it was that feeling where I'm like, did anyone else know this shit? Right? And constantly being kind of like made fun of because of that, right? So once I realized like, oh, what if I just told people I didn't know something? Everyone was like, oh, for sure. Like, that's cool. Me too, you know? So I think
Do you get people that did know it hitting you up?
Every day, dude.
Yeah.
Talk about hate comments.
I bet, bro.
Dude.
And do they put it in the post, or do they message you directly,
sure
or is it
both.
a comment?
Both.
Sure
both. Are you kidding me? There's like, I would say like 80% of my comments are just like, you're a fucking moron. I'm like, I know. That's the whole point.
Do you leave them? Do you delete them?
100%. I was in comment moderation for so long, and I just learned like there's no point in trying to like
to battle with them.
Like it's endless. It's an endless battle. Like I had a 40-hour-a-week job just comment moderating on YouTube.
Wow.
And it was just like, and once you do it, you're just like, this is like
This
a
sucks.
long time. Like I had Star Wars Episode 7 ruined for me because I was comment moderating.
Really?
Yeah.
So watch it over and over and
yeah,
over and over.
and spoiler alert, Han Solo dies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, hey,
Things
but I knew that before, damn it, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you know, someone in England or whatever. But like, yeah, I mean, my comments are just like constantly like, learn this in preschool, your childhood was rough, like how dumb is your dad, like, you know, all of this stuff, like your mother dropped you as a child.
Damn. Yeah, they're rough.
All that stuff. But
My
you just
wife
kind of
had
get over it, you know?
My wife had like a viral thing on TikTok that got a bunch of views.
Oh, the childhood crush one?
Yeah, the childhood crush, and there was a picture of me from Sandlot, and then a picture of us now or whatever. But it did really well. It got millions of views and all this stuff. But the comment section was crazy, bro. And she had like people in her family fighting with other people, and then this and that.
Yeah, dude.
She was like, what did she say to me? She said they're called trolls, Chauncey, and they're all over the internet.
Yeah.
It was like,
exactly.
Like,
well, my wife, you know, used to get so upset for me.
Yeah, it's tough.
I was just like, honey, you can't. Like, they're not. It's not a real.
Oh, dude, Michelle's like, I could
They're
never
like
be.
NPCs that are just
exactly,
like
they're
non-player
NPCs.
characters that are just here.
Exactly,
just
like they're
shit and
NPCs.
Cheerios.
Like you can't just walk
Can't let
past
them bother
them.
you.
Yeah, they're like just walk past them. They won't bother you. You know they will bother you, but you don't bother them. They're like a bee. Like you don't worry about it. And yeah, it's tough, but like at the same time, like that's not the point. The point is
They are like bees.
They are. They're like bees.
They can only sting you.
Exactly. But
There's
then
no win for you in it.
But then all of a sudden, even if you
It's a great analogy.
try to get them, there's going to be more.
There's going to be more.
100%.
Yeah, and it's just going to feed into
and
the
they're
thing.
so annoying. And sometimes they hurt, but they're so annoying. And there's just endless amount of just constantly coming back.
It's
and
wild
like,
how much time people have on their hands.
Yeah,
actually.
Exactly. And
the comments are really the gold. Gold in a lot of stuff too.
I mean, it's
Other
like
people's
there's
content.
like certain KPIs, which is like the comments, the shares, and the watch, right?
Yeah.
But if you can hit that comment, that means you're getting shares, and that means people are watching.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, you know, it's just like kind of like, and it sort of just feeds into itself because like sometimes you sort of read these comments, and it really validates like, oh, like I do need to like make sure that people like me who are being made fun of have someone to look at and go, that guy too.
Yeah.
And I think that was the most validating thing for me, which I didn't really know I was doing at the beginning. But then, like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still making a funny video that's just sort of ridiculous. But, you know, when people reach out or something and they're like, oh, I didn't know that either. Like, did you know this too? And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, that's so cool, you know? So it's that kind of thing that's really helpful.
Yeah, it's you know, it's kind of like the Chris Farley role where like he knows that people are laughing at him for being that, but in the sense of like that is the liberating feeling of everybody laughing together at this goofy guy or whatever it is, you know?
Exactly. I mean,
and people need that too, and it makes other people feel good to know that we don't all know.
Yeah.
Most of us know nothing.
Yeah.
And what we think we know is probably wrong as well.
Exactly.
But it's especially for kids coming up, it can be a very volatile place, obviously.
Yeah,
they want to come and create purely, and then you constantly have people attacking you for, you know, they're not doing anything themselves, obviously, because if you look at the profiles, they're just literally there to troll people.
They're literally there's zero following. They follow 3,000 people.
Yeah, they're just
like
everybody.
Constantly just like on the troll game.
Who the hell has that much free time?
Dude,
They
so
got
many
time.
people.
They got a lot of time.
So many people.
You'd be
So like it is
surprised.
so many people.
It's
and
actually
like
sad.
it's wild. And it's just like you're looking at this and you're like, man, I really thought that I had like made something nice. And they're like, dude, you dropped on your head as a child. It's like, thank you. I thought that was hilarious. You know, like I thought that was a funny life hack to tell you about or whatever. And
I guess there'll always be haters. That's
yeah,
never. That's never ending.
no matter. I mean, I'm sure you're talking about haters. Like, I'm sure. I think I actually overheard yesterday someone shitting on LeBron James.
Oh yeah, while he won the thing.
What, like,
Oh yeah.
dude?
It goes both ways.
Come on.
He just broke the scoring record.
for the all time.
Yeah, people hate LeBron the most.
Like, it's crazy.
Kobe got like hate from other teams, but was respected by all.
Sure, yeah.
LeBron is like respected by none except for LeBron fans. You know what I mean? Like I feel bad for the guy because all that he's done for basketball, and Michael Jordan is not a nice guy.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy.
No,
I don't know him, but
but
people
people have told me how terrible he is. Yeah.
he drinks, he smokes, he likes to gamble.
Gambles,
He's a different type of person.
Yep.
And Kobe was so competitive that like great guy, but you don't want to compete against him. He
Yeah.
was petty.
Yeah.
He was, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he was with it, you know?
Yeah.
LeBron is like a very likable person.
Yeah.
Came out of high school, never had problems in his careers, married his high school sweetheart, put all of his friends on.
Yeah.
He's an amazing human being.
Yeah.
And people love to just like ride him like
Yeah.
harder than anybody, you know?
Yeah.
And make him number 5 or number 3 or what, no matter what it is, it's just he can never be in the conversation, right?
It was truly incredible to me, like how long the conversation had gone between like, oh, who's the greatest, you know, like Jordan or LeBron, and even now you're just like, guys, like it's LeBron motherfucking James. Like I don't know what to tell you. Like he's an all-time scoring record. Maybe he didn't win as many trophies consistently.
While he was, you know, rebounding and passing the ball as well.
Like,
I mean, as far
yeah,
as
exactly.
as basketball talent goes,
Yeah.
he's the best to ever step on court.
It's insane.
Does he have the killer instinct that Kobe and Michael had?
Right.
Probably not.
Right.
But they were different.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean? He actually has a life
Yeah.
outside of basketball as well.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Kobe was a different type of beast.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, but so it's exactly right. Haters are literally everywhere,
Endless.
and every facet
And no matter
of
how
success.
high you succeed,
I mean, I'm sure you both get it all the time. Just like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
just like, you know, fuck you, like, you know,
Oh.
all that stuff.
Most people, for me though, they just hit me in the DM.
Sure.
They don't go on
Sure.
the comment section.
Sure.
Really.
Yeah.
mine's pretty dry.
Yeah.
There's
You
always like
you don't hard post very often.
no, there's always like one here and there on other shit or like some goofy shit, or sometimes it'll be on my wife's stuff or something else.
Right.
But like, it's usually like some dude like trying to like hate about women or like something
Oh,
else, you
yeah.
know, trying to like kick
Sure.
you down. But people are shockingly nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it the nostalgia, do you think, or is it like?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just, you know, I don't have as many followers either, so maybe
Sure.
it's just not as, you know, it just multiplies as
Yeah.
the shit rolls downhill, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you're
Um,
nicer than us.
Yeah.
I doubt
Maybe
it.
you're not.
Definitely
Yeah.
not. Maybe that's the thing too.
In public.
I can be a little cagey, I guess. but no, I don't have an unnecessary amount of hate.
Yeah.
There's it's a pleasurable amount. And
Yeah.
and you know what? I don't entertain it though. I just usually laugh or like their comment when they say some goofy shit.
Sure.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting to think about like what it's like for you to come up in the digital space now after being so popular and after like changing people like me, changing our lives and be like, yo, that's Squints. Like everyone knows who Squints is. Like,
Yeah, it's
you know?
it's an interesting place because I walk around and nobody really knows who I am,
Really?
but they stare at me like they do most of the time. Or people will know. I guess
Yeah,
LA is
sorry.
a strange
Well, I
place
think
too.
it's the
LA's a
sleeves
strange
that throw
place. Yeah, like
people
if
off.
you were to go back in like where
Yeah.
I grew up.
Now
Also,
that,
if you're at
now
a-
that the cannabis business has been progressing, people have starting to like recognize me out places because I've been doing more stuff like revolving around that. But it's interesting to be known for an iconic character that obviously as a child that I look different than now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And everybody knows who that person is, or
Mhm.
the majority of people
Mhm.
are aware, and you get that like nostalgia wow factor. But at the same time, you the general public, like, it's pleasurable to go places still.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
yeah, same for me actually.
Patrick Renna, the kid that played Ham in the Sandlot.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask about
So
him.
Pat Renna,
Yeah.
like, he has it rough, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and this is.
Well, because he's got like 400 plus K on
He's had a
Instagram
following,
now.
but even
Yeah.
before the following, he looks so recognizable.
Sure.
That, like, even
Oh,
before his
yeah.
following on social, when we were just going to do like little Sandlot events or anything, like, he'll get cornered at bars. People like follow him down the street. Like, he's got like the bad fame,
Yeah.
the fame where like you're not like an A-lister where you can hide from people and you
Yeah.
got tons of money that come with it, or like other benefits. But like, you know, people are gonna follow you down the street and say weird shit and comment and do this, and like you almost can't protect yourself
Yeah.
type of shit.
No, I
It's
which
that
is
bad when you guys go.
it's scary, bro. It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's not like he's like a nice square guy too. So he's not like I'm aggressive, bro. Like, you're not gonna come up on me in a
Right.
bar talking shit. And
No, I feel like
and,
he would just kind of take
he
it.
cowers and like will get into like he's not like a punk or anything,
Yeah.
but still
I mean,
he's like a
that's-
nice guy, and he
it's
kind of
hard.
like, it gets weird, and then you're like, oh fuck, how do I get out of here type of thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, especially with people that like nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like it gets rough.
yeah, it's rough, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
And also
funny,
it's been what 30 years now?
30 years
30
this year.
years
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff for the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty crazy to see something 3 generations. It's like or I guess that's not 3 generations, 3 decades that are, yeah, it keeps like traveling through generations. You know.
I always
kids, then their parents, and their
every once in a while I'll be like, wait, where was Sandlot filmed? Like, and it's
Salt
some
Lake
like
City.
here in the valley.
It's supposed to be the Valley, but it's
Yeah.
we filmed it in Salt Lake City. Actually.
Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
That's what it was,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah, the Salt Lake City looked like the Valley in the 60s.
Yeah,
you get
sure.
like the Valley vibe, but it's a lot more desolate.
Yeah,
and, like,
right.
We could shoot there, and
I think
and all
there
the
was-
buildings
I-
are similar.
Yeah, I mean, my friends and I are kind of like movie buffs or whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, we'll like look up things. We're like, oh yeah, Salt Lake City, like that's
So
what?
odd.
That's
It's
not
so weird.
That's not the valley at all, man.
Looks like a valley.
Salt
Well, 'cause
Lake
you got the
does.
hills, you got, like,
If you
everything.
shoot it, it can appear to be the Valley.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's
And a lot
wild.
of the structures and shit are very similar. 1-story buildings, like you have all the same type of, all of the old like developments, like those old valley houses. It's,
Yeah.
all Salt Lake's like that too. It's like older,
Yeah.
like valley style houses. So
That's,
I guess
mean,
it made sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always wondering about what it's like for like people, you know, that were really famous to like now with social media, how hard it can be, and like what's the comments like and everything. But I guess it depends on obviously like how big is your audience too, you know?
Yeah, or who you are, or how you approach, and
Exactly.
you know, some people just get more hate than others. I feel like, you know,
Yeah.
not everybody is persecuted equally.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Yeah, that's very fair. That's very
Yeah.
fair, especially for someone like Patrick who looks so much like.
Yeah, he's like, it's bad, like screaming out of cars type of shit, you know.
Because he pretty much looks
in a good,
identical.
and not in a
In
good
Los
way.
Angeles?
I don't know about in LA, but yeah, I mean in LA, like it's probably pretty bad
Wow.
too. But going other places is like, they like have like chased us down the street, like running. type
No
of
shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, thank you for your service to all of our brands and the nostalgia.
It's definitely been a blessing. So
Yeah.
it's helped me in so many ways. So
I mean,
it's
of
cool.
course, the tattoos, of course, like definitely help camouflage you. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, that can't be Squints.
No, you know, yeah.
I remember the first time I met you, I was like, this motherfucker looks really familiar.
That's what I get all the time.
Yeah.
Everybody
And then,
thinks they know me from
like,
somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
So it
Later
actually
that
helps
day,
because
I
the
hit-
familiarness, even if they don't know, it drops people's guards down because they feel like they know you from somewhere, so
Right,
they're
right.
interested, right? So it sparks interest.
You have that like, wait a second, like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
and
look.
then if they do end up finding out, then it's like, at least it's a pleasurable memory.
Sure.
So then it starts like, it's definitely a icebreaker, which is dope, you know?
Yeah,
helps.
yesterday I was in the parking lot of Best Buy, and I was like struggling to put my computer in my back seat, and someone just rolled up behind me and said, "Hey, are you that guy from TikTok?" I was like, "Yeah, hey, thanks for watching and everything." He was like, "Man, I'm really happy you got that screw out." And I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." Like I had this strip screw that I couldn't get out forever, and I finally found the tool that I need to use it. And if anyone wants to know, like, life hacks don't matter with a strip screw. Just go get the tool.
Yeah.
It's already stripped.
Yeah.
You're not gonna save it. Who
Like the
cares?
rubber band trick's not
Rubber
gonna work.
band, fuck that.
You tried it?
No duct tape. Duct tape
tape
doesn't
didn't
work.
How many things did you attempt before
Probably
you went to
about 20.
And
maybe 30.
So it was faster to go to the store and get the tool
Dude,
and come back.
$10, 20 minutes, like,
And less frustration.
man, like I tried everything, rubber band around the edge, needle nose pliers. I was having friends text me like, hey, like, did you try like all of this stuff, like hot glue into this, like everything? And I was like, none of these work. And then finally I go to Home Depot, buddy tells me about a screw extractor, put it in the drill driver, drill in and just get it right out. I was like, getting a strip screw out is probably my least favorite life hack of all time because of how simple that tool is. So even in the video where I posted where I finally got the screw out, I was like, fuck every other life hack. This is stupid. Go get a screw extractor. Because I wasted a week of my life.
Yeah.
A week. Anyway.
So if you ever need to take apart the crib, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my crib's stripped. Oh, man.
How was your newest?
5 months.
5 months, me too.
Oh, yeah, that's
6
right.
months, almost 6 months for mine.
Congrats.
Little girl, yeah.
Yeah, mine too, little girl.
So no sleep for either of you.
No, dude. I woke up
Does she
at...
sleep? Does she nap?
She's taking naps pretty good. She's at like a 30-minute nap mark right now.
Good.
But
When you hit that 2-hour sweet spot.
She doesn't
Yeah.
sleep through the night?
she does actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's sleeping through the night pretty good.
Mine's sleeping through the night. She doesn't nap at all. She doesn't want to miss anything, bro.
Yeah.
She's
She-
like
Really?
wide awake. She does not nap, bro.
Yeah.
Not in the car, not in the mall, in the stroller. Like
Really?
she just doesn't nap.
Usually the car puts them right
Yeah,
to sleep.
she doesn't. She doesn't nap. She's
Wow.
team no nap. She
Wow.
just doesn't nap. She
Wow.
thinks she's like a grown up.
Wow. Yeah,
She wants
my
to be on the
little
scene
girl.
and doing whatever she
Old
wants
soul,
to do.
bro.
Yeah, she's
She gets
old.
angry when she gets tired.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, okay, it's like
It's
nap,
nap
time.
time, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
been
they get all
it's-
irritable and shit.
Yeah, and they like start to like move
Yeah.
around a little bit more or whatever. And it's been the best. Like, I love her so much. And
Life changing.
I mean, like, people, you really don't understand. Like,
You can't explain it.
people always talk about like, oh, your life changes
you
forever.
gotta experience it.
Yeah, and like you really like, and then all of a sudden, you know, it's like, oh, like your life changes forever. I always thought it was like, oh, you don't have any free time or you don't have anything like that. But actually, it's like you lose all focus of yourself.
Yes.
And then it's like if you like, for me, I was like maybe a month or so in, and I like lost, or had the realization that I've like sort of lost my ability to choose when I want to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I don't go to sleep early enough and I don't wake up early enough, I'm not gonna make it. Like I'm gonna go insane. And if I go insane, I can't.
How many hours of sleep do you need?
Now I go to sleep at like 9:30. Like wake up at 5, you know, wake up at 6.
I gotta sleep around 1.
I
roll
know,
out of
me.
bed,
I
like-
know, but like.
But my daughter sleeps in till like 8:15, 8:30.
Oh, dude,
As long as someone stays in the bed,
that's dope.
she's usually
That's
out. So my
great.
wife will put her down.
How old is she now? Year and a half? No.
Year and a half in a couple
Year
days.
and a half,
Wow.
And so in the morning, she'll kick you till 8, 9 o'clock,
Dude,
depending.
that's great.
And then if my mom's there, she stays up till midnight.
Oh, sure, yeah. But it's like, you know, it's just one of those things where you know, I've had a lot of death in my life. And then when my daughter showed up, it was just sort of like, oh, I get the life cycle now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, whoa, this is crazy. And then immediately I was just completely enamored with her. And it was just like, I can't think of a world without her. I don't want to think of a world without her. And, you know, just like as long as, you know, she starts to develop more and she smiles, she's laughing, she's like doing all these things. It's like, you're a real baby now. Like, this
Yeah.
is cool.
Oh, it's dope.
So it's
The
the
first
best.
couple months when they don't move, you're like,
It's a potato. You're a potato.
and
It's
then
just
when
like
they
there's
start
nothing.
being able to like roll off the bed, you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
She hasn't been able to roll yet. I'm like, we're working on it. We're like,
We lost her twice off the bed.
yeah, like earlier, literally this morning, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. We have her on tummy time. I'm like, God, for the love of God, do not learn how to roll right now. Please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't.
It'll happen at the most inconvenient time.
Yeah,
believe it.
exactly.
Like-
Like I keep on saying to her
Right now
every
you
time.
can leave her right here.
Right when
Go.
you leave her on the sofa in a
I'm
bad
telling you,
position, and
I'm
you're
telling
like,
you.
I'll be right back, and you just
Every time I leave the room and I'm like, this could go 2 ways.
Mm-hmm.
I look at her and I go, honey, do not learn how to roll right now. And I leave and I just hope for the best.
yeah, that's it.
The changing table one is the one that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. Just like,
Oh, you'll
man.
hear it. Thump.
Ah! It's like, oh God, what did I do?
But like the changing table's higher than the
Yeah,
bed, so you're
exactly.
like, fuck, that's a long way down.
I know.
Before we wrap up, anything you want to leave the audience with? Any words of wisdom for content creators?
Oh man, for content creators,
Just in general, or people in general?
You know,
I think we're good with the
Because I
kid
think
stuff.
you could use the same concept for any business.
yeah, I mean, it's true, right? It's like, you know, I think the hardest part about becoming or doing the thing that you want to do is finding a way to stay inside that industry while you learn how to do the thing you want to do, right? So for me, you know, people always talk about like, oh, I've always wanted to be a musician, or oh, I've always wanted to, you know, be a writer or something. It's like, all right, well then you're probably gonna have to work like a $30,000 a year job for a long time as like a musician's secretary. Or, you know, for me it was like I wanted to stay in YouTube and stay in digital media because I knew I wanted to be a YouTuber. So what I did was I got a shitty job as a comment moderator and a social media coordinator, and then I kind of like moved up the ranks, you know, all that stuff.
Learn the business.
Yeah, like learning about it. And then all of a sudden it was like something came up where it was just sort of, oh, I could do that for sure because I've been in it for so long, right?
Mhm.
And then, yeah, you still have to work while you do it, but I think, you know, just like constantly trying to learn about the thing you love for as long as it takes you to make it, because you always have a chance to make it.
Mhm.
There's always a moment where you can make it.
Yeah.
And once you're there, it's just like, I mean, you probably saw one of my videos, like I am like I'm in tears, right? I mean, it's just a wonderful, beautiful thing. So
Yeah.
keep going.
Keep going.
Just keep going. You got this. You can do it.
That's it.
Where do people find you, Sid?
Sidney Raz, SIDNEYRAZ on all socials. I got all the handles early on, so
So you're good.
I have consistent branding across all platforms. So yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure being here, y'all. Thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate
you.
you coming. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.